Betrayal doesn't always arrive screaming. Sometimes, it arrives quietly, through a glowing screen, in a message never meant to be seen. And in that moment, you don't become angry, you become someone else. Someone who starts asking a dangerous question. Do I confront the truth immediately, or do I let it reveal itself? From the outside, their marriage looked ordinary. Not perfect, not broken, just stable. Shared routines, predictable evenings, inside jokes that had survived long enough to feel permanent. They weren't passionate anymore, but they were familiar. And familiarity can feel like safety. He trusted her, not because she earned it every day, but because trust had become automatic. And that was the problem, because when trust goes unquestioned, it becomes invisible, and invisible things are the easiest to destroy. The house was quiet. No television, no discussion, just the low hum of familiarity. Her phone lit up on the table. No sound, just light. A name he didn't recognize. He didn't reach for it immediately. That hesitation mattered, because part of him still believed this could be explained. That context might rescue reality. The message was short. I still think about last night. That was all. His body reacted before his thoughts did. A tightening in his chest. A sudden stillness. He stared at the screen longer than he needed to. Not because he didn't understand it, but because once you accept something like that, you can't unaccept it. He scrolled. Slowly. Carefully. Each message confirmed the same truth. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. Repeated. Intentional. And what surprised him most wasn't the pain. It was the clarity. Anger demands release, but clarity demands control. And in that moment, he realized something unsettling about himself. He didn't want excuses. He didn't want apologies. He wanted to understand. So he said nothing. Not because he was weak, but because he was watching. The next morning felt surreal. Breakfast tasted the same. Her voice sounded the same. She smiled. And for the first time, he saw the mechanics behind it. Not affection. Performance. Every word became data. Every excuse a pattern. He noticed how easily lies slid into conversation. How confidently she navigated moments that would have crushed him. And slowly something shifted inside him. He stopped seeing her as his wife. He started seeing her as a system built on routine deception. And systems can be mapped. Weeks passed, and the silence grew heavier. Not because he was suffering, but because he was deciding. He documented everything. Not out of revenge, but out of necessity. Because truth without proof becomes argument. And argument always favors the liar. Still doubt crept in. Not about her. About himself. Was this patience? Or was it something darker? At what point does restraint become cruelty? And here's the part most people won't admit. He felt powerful. Not dominant. Not vengeful. But grounded. Because while she believed she was in control, he was no longer reacting. He was choosing. The confrontation wasn't explosive. There was no shouting. No drama. Just a table. And evidence. He placed it between them quietly. She laughed at first. Then denied it. Then cried. Each reaction arrived too late. Because this moment wasn't about convincing her. It was about removing escape. When reality exists without an exit, performance stops working. She finally asked the question she couldn't avoid anymore. How long have you known? He didn't hesitate. Long enough to see who you really are. That sentence landed harder than anger ever could. Because it wasn't punishment. It was recognition. And recognition is permanent. He didn't destroy her life. He removed himself from it. Legal steps had already been taken. Accounts separated. Boundaries drawn. Exits prepared. Not in secret, but with intention. The trap was never humiliation. It was finality. Because the most painful consequence of betrayal isn't loss. It's being seen clearly. And still being left. No jailing. No revenge. Just absence. And sometimes, absence is the loudest response of all. Betrayal forces a moral decision. Do you react emotionally? or respond deliberately? Do you expose the lie immediately, or let it collapse under its own weight? There's no clean answer, only consequences. Some stories don't end with justice, they end with awareness. And once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. So let me ask you, do you think his silence was strength, or something more dangerous? And if you were in his place, would you have confronted the truth sooner, or would you have waited to understand it fully? I'm curious what you think.